Well, thank you for being here. Today is the start of NBA free agency. Technically at 6 p.m. But Shams, you know that little snake doesn't wait for anything. Shams is out here firing off. Every 2 minutes it seems like Shams is firing something off here. But there's some things we got to cover. And then I think the second half of this, we'll just do a Shams rundown and read all of Shams' tweets about all the free agent signings that are happening currently. I haven't seen any big ones today from what I looked at this morning. I haven't seen anything major. A lot of role players signing or declining player options to sign longer deals and things like that. But maybe there will be a blockbuster trade today. There was I guess you could call it blockbuster trade yesterday. The Ja Morant trade. I don't know what the Portland Trailblazers are doing. I had fun watching them last year, and then the play-in tournament game. And they're ruining it. We're going to talk about the Ja Morant trade. We got to talk about this dumbass idiot, the most delusional human being on planet Earth, Ben Simmons. He was in Health Magazine saying a bunch of stupid shit because he's an idiot. Just a delusional sociopath. He seriously needs to be checked out by a mental expert. He said some things, and then I have some reactions to, my favorite people, delusional Sixers fans. Not just delusional Sixers fans, delusional Ben Simmons stans, dude. Oh, God. And then some Jalen Duren rumors. I was right. The Pistons are trading him. You guys tried to tell me it was clickbait. You tried to tell me it wasn't true. Now you're learning. You're learning what everyone on Run It Back Philly learned over the course of 7 years. I'm never wrong. Even when I'm wrong, I'm right. The only time I was wrong is when that time that I thought I was wrong and I was actually right. So even when I thought I was wrong, I was still right. Kawhi Leonard going back to Toronto is heating up even more, and that brings up the question, what the hell are the Clippers doing? Because there's rumors that they're just trying to clear cap space. But if they're just trying to clear cap space, why did they do these other things that they've done? And so we're going to talk about that also. Thank you for being here. 233 sickos in the building. Do me a favor, hit the like button one time. Give me 233 likes on the stream. Listen on all podcast platforms. Subscribe to this channel right here. We just soared past 10,000 subscribers, on our way to 100. Turn your notification bell on to all. So when we go live, you are notified. You don't miss any of these live shows. Or every single day at 12. You just can remember that. Be here. Be here. And consider becoming a member of the channel. For a Sickos badge next to your name, a suggestion box in the members-only Discord, a call-in server on the members-only Discord, members-only videos, live streams, and all those exclusive things. Thank you for the support. Let's get into it! All right, who's in here, man? Who's in here? You were wrong about Giannis. Nope. Sure wasn't. Stop suggesting a guy who can't do anything on either side of the floor. LeBron James is the news headlines going to play somewhere else. I talked about that yesterday, and that's another clip that I just posted on the YouTube channel that people are saying is clickbait. Lo and behold, it's going to happen. What's up, BW? What's up, Santiago? What's up, Pacey Evans? What's up, Hot Wheels? What's up to the members in the chat? Cyan Maelstrom, Shabazz 2X, Chancellor. Thank you guys for being members of the show. We're stacking up the members already, and we just launched memberships yesterday. All right, let's get down to it, man. So, where did I think Ja Morant was about to be traded to? No, I thought Ja Morant wasn't about to be wrong about the Knickerbockers. Nope, there's a clip out there a month before they were in the NBA Finals that said, I'm starting to believe the New York Knicks are going to win the whole thing. You know, come on, bro. Come on, man. I rooted against them. That doesn't mean I didn't think they had the chance to win. Where did I think Ja Morant... I thought Ja Morant was going to go nowhere because I thought he has negative trade value. His contract is a detriment to any team that signs him. He's a player who needs the ball in his hands, is not a great facilitator, is a terrible shooter, relies heavily on athleticism, is constantly hurt, and as his athleticism inevitably declines faster than the average athlete because he keeps getting hurt, he will be no good. I know that they were saying, like, I think Memphis is going to have to attach first-round picks just to get rid of the Ja Morant contract. I didn't see Memphis doing that because there's no reason for a team like Memphis to be giving up future first-round picks just to get rid of a contract when you could just sit on it for 2 years or buy him out. I didn't actually think a team was going to make the trade. The Portland Trailblazers trade for Ja Morant? I need to understand this. Let's see the original Shams report on Ja Morant. I thought I had it up here. One day I'll actually have a producer and I'll just be able to come up here and give my takes. Let me see. Breaking news. Ja Morant expressed to the Blazers he's excited to be in Portland. All right, I think it's this one right here. Damn it, producer, you're fired. I think it's this one right here. Let's check this out. See what Sham said, and then I definitely got some opinions on this, man.
This was their big move as of right now. My understanding is they're not involved with Jalen Brown. They made attempts with Giannis Antetokounmpo. Obviously, didn't land him. Right. But with Giannis Antetokounmpo.
I'm sorry, Shams. That was very rude of me.
Obviously, didn't land him. Right. But this is a Blazers team. They've got young players, like some of the ones I just mentioned, Scoot Henderson, Denny Odd.
All right, so that wasn't like the breaking video. That was just him saying they're done. They're not looking for a Jalen Brown trade. So here's Shams' tweet that he made when Ja Morant was, damn it! Good thing I can edit these clips after we're live. This is Shams' tweet of the Ja Morant trade. The Memphis Grizzlies are trading two-time NBA All-Star Ja Morant to the Portland Trailblazers for Jeremy Grant and Chris Murray. So, I just don't get it for the Portland Trailblazers. Like, I know that Memphis had to accept the fact that all we're going to get is salary filler, right? But we got to get him the hell out of here. I don't understand what he brings to the Portland Trailblazers team. I was having fun watching the Portland Trailblazers last year. They had a fun playing game. Drew Holiday is still really good. Am I tripping? Am I losing my mind? Drew Holiday is still really good. You got Damian Lillard coming back. You got Drew Holiday, a facilitating defensive point guard who's just basketball IQ is on a million. He's been a part of 2 championships in the last 5 years and has been shipped out every time. You got Damian Lillard, who needs the ball in his hands, but he can play off ball as well. He can't play any defense. We know that. And now, he's getting older. He's coming back from another injury. You got Scoot Henderson, who just came back from injury again last year and actually had a good run the second half of the season for the Portland Trailblazers. And I think he had a 30-point game. Was it in the play? He had a 30-point game in the play-in tournament, or I don't remember. Maybe in the first round. They were in the first round against the Oklahoma City Thunder. I don't remember. But so you got 3 guards. You got 3 guards. Already. You shouldn't even be out there looking to sign free agent guards. You shouldn't be out there drafting guards, let alone giving up assets and players that help you, like Jeremy Grant, to add a 4th guard to your team who needs the ball in his hands, can't fucking shoot, can't play off ball, can't catch and shoot a corner 3 to save his life, can't catch and shoot a wing 3 to save his life, can't play any defense, is injured all the time, relies heavily on athleticism, his game will not age gracefully, and he's being paid $40 million a year. This is absolutely one of the dumbest things I've ever seen in my life. This is one of the dumbest trades I've ever seen. And there's a post here. Check this out. Continuing. And I don't look. We're going to look at a little Ja Morant highlight reel from 2 years ago to talk about what he does bring to the Portland Trailblazers. But look at this. The Portland Trailblazers reportedly believe that Ja Morant, Damian Lillard, Drew Holiday, and Scoot Henderson can all coexist together. The Blazers believe 4 guards can coexist in large part because the team believes Holiday can alleviate the redundancy by playing him off ball as a shooting guard or a small forward. What? Oh, so you're going to play Damian Lillard at the 1 or I don't know. You're going to play Ja Morant at the 1, Damian Lillard at the 2, Drew Holiday at the 3? Scoot off. What is this team doing? It bothers me because they were fun as an underdog last year, and I was having fun rooting for them to do something. And then they turn around and they remind you why they haven't been relevant for 100 fucking years. They turn around and remind you why they haven't been relevant. This just makes absolutely no sense. This is the dumbest trade I've seen in a long time. And I cannot believe the Memphis Grizzlies pulled this off. Absolute disaster. Absolute disaster. There's just no way. There's no way that's going to do anything for the Portland Trailblazers. But let's look, bro, because obviously last year, Ja Morant was injured again because he's always injured. But 2 years ago, he was healthy. And this is what he brings to your team. I guess, like, strategically, if you get him going downhill, you know, maybe he gets back to this level of athleticism that he was putting on 2 years. Hold on, bro. Now I know what Portland's doing. We're so irrelevant. We know we have no chance to beat the San Antonio Spurs or the Oklahoma City Thunder or probably the Nuggets or the Lakers or the Minnesota Timberwolves. Let's just go have a circus. Let's just go sell some tickets. Let's just go have a circus. They got that new owner that's doing all these business moves, right? Cutting costs and all this. This is a circus move. They're just trying to sell tickets to the circus. And the first time Ja Morant cuts down the lane and does a 360 lay. That's exactly. Oh my goodness, not the 360 with the left. Hey, look, 360 layups don't win you games. They don't help your playoff chances, but it is fun to watch if Ja Morant still has this level of athleticism. That's what the Portland Trailblazers are doing. They signed a player to sell tickets so the fans in Portland can go and ooh and ah when he does a 360 up and under switch hand layup. There's no other way to explain it. There's no other way to explain paying Oh, Jesus. This one was crazy. I forgot about this. Jesus. Look, athleticism through the roof. If he's healthy. If he stays healthy. He's never healthy. He never stays healthy. Paying him $40 million just makes no sense, man. It just makes no sense. But I'm glad we looked at that little highlight reel there because he is entertaining. And so now we have concluded that is what the Portland Trailblazers are doing with this trade. They are selling an entertainment product. I gotta respect it. I gotta respect it. I gotta respect it. I gotta respect that. I gotta respect that. Prince Jeffrey, thank you for the super chat. Couldn't get to say yesterday, but couldn't possibly believe Avdia is better than JB. Couldn't get to say yesterday, but couldn't possibly believe Avdia is better than Jalen Brown. Are you saying that you couldn't believe that I said that yesterday? I need a translator here. I did say that yesterday. I did. And the advanced analytics show it. And look, I know advanced analytics aren't everything. And I'm more of an eye test guy. I'll take Denny Avdia in the fourth quarter over Jalen Brown all day. All day. You saw Jalen Brown in the playoffs? You saw him in the fourth quarter of the playoffs when they were up 3-1, when all they had to do was win one game to take out the lowly, sad, disgusting, pathetic franchise, the Philadelphia 76ers. You see that? What did he do? Every fourth quarter, nothing. I put the ball in Denny Avdia's hands all day, man. Nicholas OS, thank you for becoming a member of the channel, man. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Yeah, let's move on to this. Speaking of Sixers and Sixers fans, and I am a Sixers fan, but I am a distanced Sixers fan. I have completely checked out on the 76ers franchise until 2029. Until Joel Embiid and Paul George are gone and we can actually move forward and build a team and the front office can actually talk about and convince the fan base that they're actually trying to win, I'm out. I'm not invested in it whatsoever. I do not care what happens. But anyway, speaking of 76ers fans, every year, the Ben Simmons topic comes up. It's going to be the year 4026. And Sixers fans are going to be like, hey, do you think they should bring back Ben Simmons? I'm going to be like, he's 105 years old. He's dead. Yeah, but, he can still defend. He can, the Heat would still be their best rebounder. He can still defend and rebound. We just got to dig him up. Anyway, Ben Simmons was in did an interview with Men's Health. Don't know why. And here's what he said. I can't even read this shit. It's so ridiculous, man. Ben Simmons is planning an NBA How many fucking years are we going to say this? How many years are we going to say this exact stupid fucking sentence? And you guys eat it up every single time. It's so stupid, man. Ben Simmons is planning an NBA comeback with the 76ers and Heat as potential targets. I have so many opinions on this. I plan on getting as strong as I can physically, getting my ass on the court, and then the team realizing that why aren't you as strong as you can physically right now? Huh? What? You just admitted that you haven't been working out and you haven't been on the court because you went and became a professional fisherman. I plan on getting, he says this every offseason. I'm going to get my strength back. I'm going to get my speed back. I'm going to get healthy. Shut up, dude. Maybe I'll go back to Philly. Listen, he just straight up says, maybe I'll go back to Philly. Miami would be nice. And not because it's Miami. I like Eric Spoelstra. I like the Heat. I like their organization. I like their culture. This idiot is so damn delusional that he thinks he can just go work out, get his strength back, and then choose what team he wants to go to. Yes, a player that was released by the LA Clippers and was not offered a contract by anybody in the NBA. He couldn't get on the court for the Clippers in the playoffs 2 years ago. He averaged 0.1 points per game in the playoffs with the Clippers. I didn't make up that number. That's a real number. He averaged 0.1 points per game for the Clippers in the playoffs. He was unplayable. He's been unplayable for years. He didn't get any offers. He went and became a professional fisherman. And now he's so delusional that he thinks I can just work out and not only come back to the NBA whenever the hell I want, I can choose the team that I want. This guy is mental. He thinks he's LeBron James in his prime. Not only does he think he can choose what team he comes back to, he actually thinks he can go back to Philly. Ben Simmons is the most hated athlete in the history of Philadelphia. I need you guys to understand this. It's not even close. He is the most hated athlete in the history of Philadelphia sports. This is how I know Sixers fans in real life and Sixers fans on Twitter and Reddit are not the same people. Ben Simmons would get booed out of the arena if he showed up on the court in a 76ers jersey. It's just absolutely ridiculous to even think that would be a possibility. It's ridiculous for some cellar-dweller dweeb on Reddit to think that, let alone Ben Simmons to actually think that. This man is a delusional sociopath. He needs to be put in a mental institution. He needs to be in a straitjacket. He needs to be locked up. He is a danger to society. I haven't had a good Ben Simmons rant in a while. Don't worry, it's not over. We got another one. Ben Simmons also said this about the final missed dunk or passed up dunk with the 76ers in the playoffs. And I love that Legion Hoops put the screenshot here because it shows you how dumb this fucking quote is. Here's what he said about his passed up wide open dunk. Not I should have dunked it. Not, I got in my own head. I'm 6'11". I should have dunked the ball over midget Trae Young. No, it's not what he said. Here's what he said. I wasn't hitting my shit. I just gave the ball to somebody who was shooting a higher percentage at the time. How about Matisse Thybulle should have made the fucking free throws? But he didn't, and it is what it is. That's still my boy. This self-righteous psychopath actually blamed Matisse Thybulle for not hitting the free throws after his 6'11" soft baby ass passed up a wide open dunk in a 2-point game in an elimination playoff game. This idiot actually blamed Matisse Thybulle, and he's not joking. He's not joking. Have you guys ever met somebody like this in real life? We've all met somebody like this in real life. We've all met this delusional, deflector, Nothing's ever my fault. Everybody's against me. We've all met these people in real life. The only difference is they weren't gifted with 6'11", 240-pound NBA frame and handed $100 million. In real life, people that think and act like Ben Simmons, guess what they do? They do drugs, they steal from people, and they go to jail. And then they sit in prison, and they continue to tell everybody it wasn't their fault. Everybody's against them. The prison guards hate me. The warden hates me. The judge hates me. The cops are against me. He's just so lucky that he was gifted 6'11", 240. If he was a regular person, he would be in jail because he has the mental of an actual sociopath. It's unbelievable. Anyway, I don't want to spend too much time on this Ben Simmons stuff, but I want to tell you guys this for the last thing here, okay? I made this post because here's the thing. I am consistently blown away, absolutely flabbergasted, how many Sixers fans actually think the Sixers should bring him back. This is not a joke. I made this post, obviously, as a joke. Year 4026, hey, should the Sixers bring back Ben Simmons? I just thought it would get a bunch of emoji laughs. I just thought it would get a bunch of laughing emojis. Bro, the first damn comment on this post, you guys got, we're just going to read them. We're just going to read them. You guys got to see these, man. Why can't I see the comments? Do I got to zoom out? All right, let's read the comments. Look at this, man. The first damn comment, bro. We ain't winning a ring no time soon, so why not? Well, I'll tell you why not. Because if you accidentally get addicted to methamphetamines, you shouldn't also do heroin. Just because. Oh, I'm already addicted to meth. Why don't I do heroin? Should be begging for him back. Philly has no playmakers and elite defenders. Are these people living in 2026? They still think Ben Simmons is a playmaker and an elite defender. I completely understand why people hate the idea of it, but Ben coming back and actually being good again could be the spark that they need. What is wrong with these people? What is wrong with these people, man? What is wrong with these people? I'd rather have Jahlil Okafor. Facts. Need all the bench help they could get, might as well. No, they might as well not. You go and you get bench help of players that are actually playing in the NBA. To do what? Fish the Delaware? Exactly. Bring Ben back. Fire emojis. Look at this one, guys. Look at this one. Brace yourselves. Trade Embiid for Zion and Herb Jones. Trade Paul George for Drew Holiday and Robert Williams. Sign Ben Simmons and Matisse Thybulle. Thank God John Donson is not an NBA GM because he wants a team full of non-shooters. I cannot believe that people still love Ben Simmons. And I've come to the conclusion. There's no other explanation for the cult level following that Ben Simmons has. He's been trash in the NBA for literally 5 years. He was good for 2.5. He's been trash for 5 years. He was so trash the last couple of years, he's not even in the NBA anymore. He brings absolutely nothing to the court anymore. And yet, people still love him. The only explanation for that is that they are physically attracted to him. Yes, this is not a joke. The Ben Simmons fan club is physically attracted to Ben Simmons. There's no other explanation for this behavior. He is literally their high school celebrity crush. It's like how women were with Channing Tatum when I was in high school. That's what this is. It's how the girls were with Justin Timberlake when I was in high school. That's what this is. Ben Simmons is their high school celebrity crush. They love him. They're sexually attracted to him, and they can't stop wanting him back in the NBA. It has nothing to do with basketball. There. That's my Ben Simmons rant for the year. I'm not saying his name again for the rest of the... I'm not saying his name again forever. I hate this shit, dude. I hate it. It's so annoying and stupid. Dave, thank you for the super chat. By the way, he's a LARPer when it comes to fishing. All the resources at his disposal, and he's pathetic at fishing. Terrible form and unimpressive catches. I work in fishing, and I know broke guys who smoke him. Hey, I did not expect for somebody to actually sit back and analyze Ben Simmons' fishing skills. Wow. Is he right-handed or left-handed with the fishing? Unironically, as someone who works charters and does pro fishing tourneys, I wouldn't want to have him on my boat, even with his financial resources. Was that the same guy? Is that the same guy? Yeah, it's the same guy. Hey, thank you for the super chats. Let's see. Cyan, bro, Sixers need youth, health, and scorers. Exactly. Youth, health, and scorers. No Ben Simmons. Now talk about Embiid. Sixers need to trade Embiid or cancel his contract somehow, force him into medical retirement. I mean, what's there to say about Embiid? He's done. He's washed. He's cooked. I've been saying. See, that's the thing, too. That's the thing, too, bro. If I talk negatively about a player, they always try to flip it and be like, oh, yeah? What about Joel Embiid? Oh, the guy that I've been saying is washed for 3 years? Yeah, him, too. Guess what? Paul George is also a scrub. Get him the fuck out of here. Like, what? Anyway, let's move on to some NBA stuff, man. Enough about the Sixers and Ben Simmons. Nobody cares. We got to talk about Jalen Duren. We got to talk about Kawhi Leonard going back to the Lakers. And going back to Toronto, I'm sorry. We got a clip about James Harden. That should be fun. And then we got some rumors about Jimmy Butler possibly being in the gambling stuff. I'm not accusing anybody. I'm just saying people are starting to connect some dots online. That's all I'm saying. Right now, thank you for the super chat. Knicks fan here. Ben Simmons wouldn't have helped you guys against us in the playoffs. He needs to go into retirement home and stay away from the NBA. He wouldn't help anybody against anybody in the playoffs. It has nothing to do with the Knicks. I love you. Thank you for the super chat. But I do want to say this. Knicks fans love to make everything about the Knicks. You do love to make everything about the Knicks. All these trades are happening and free agent signings, and I'm getting replies from Knicks fans saying, wow, the Knicks have everybody making trades. The Knicks have everybody changing their team to try to beat the Knicks. No, this happens every year. But you're right. Ben Simmons wouldn't have helped them beat the Knicks. Ben Simmons wouldn't help them do anything, ever. He's done. He's washed. He's cooked. It's over. Let's talk about Jalen Duren, because he's leaving the Pistons. I thought I had a Jalen Duren post up here. I didn't, but Jalen Duren wants to sign and trade out of Detroit. I said this a couple days ago. People told me it was clickbait. Jalen Duren wants to sign and trade out of Detroit in his meeting with the Kings. The Detroit Pistons are unlikely to give Jalen Duren either a supermax or a regular max contract. Because he made third-team All-NBA, Duren reached the higher maximum criteria that increased the maximum money the Pistons can offer. Up to 5 years, $287 million. a substantial bump from the previous $239 million he was eligible for, but he's unlikely to see either figure following an underwhelming postseason performance that ended with a 7-game loss to the Cleveland Cavaliers. Look, I think the Detroit Pistons are making a massive mistake. Jalen, you don't come across players like Jalen Duren very often. Jalen Duren is 22 years old and is 6'10", 255 pounds. He's built like a damn Marvel superhero. Yes, he needs to work on his game. Yes, he needs to add some offense to his game. But at 22 years old, I'm betting all day on that. At 22 years old, I'm betting all day on that. Call me crazy. I know what he looked like in the playoffs, but he's 22 years old. Call me crazy. I'm giving Jalen Duren the bag if I'm the Detroit Pistons. Cade Cunningham, Jalen Duren, moving forward for the future. You got 2 young all-stars. Just because Jalen Duren had one bad playoff run where I feel like JB Bickerstaff didn't do what needed to be done to get him involved in the offense. Like, how did he have 30.20 rebound games in the regular season? And all of a sudden in the playoffs, he's getting 2 field goal attempts in a game. Maybe Jalen Duren needs to be investigated for gambling. Maybe JB Bickerstaff needs to be investigated for gambling. The coach also has to find a way to get Jalen Duren involved in the game. That's ridiculous. But at 22 years old, I'm betting on Jalen Duren, man. And the Detroit Pistons are not going to do that. And Jalen Duren feels like he's worth the max contract. And he wants to go somewhere that's going to pay him that. The Kings. Look. The Kings just got Darius Acuff Jr. The Kings sign and trade for Jalen Duren. That's a pretty good starting point for a Kings rebuild. That's a pretty good starting point for a Kings rebuild. Now, I also heard the Lakers. The Lakers have a phone call set up with Jalen Duren once free agency opens. I don't know how. Well, the Lakers they do have cap space now, right? Now that they're pretty much not going to sign LeBron James, right? Lakers cap space. Now that they're not going to re-sign LeBron James, I think that's pretty set in stone. They got Luka Doncic on the max. They have Austin Reeves on the max. There's LeBron James hold. I don't know if they sign and trade LeBron this summer or what they do. But I guess the Lakers, they have $9 million in exceptions. 106 over, but that's with the LeBron James cap hold and some other things. I guess the Lakers could work out a sign and trade for Jalen Duren. Now, I also don't think Jalen Duren's like the exact type of center you want next to Luka Doncic. Big defensive rebounding center, young. I think will add to his offensive game. He's not quite the rim running center that would be like perfect next to Luka Doncic, right? Like Daniel Gafford and Derek Lively were that one year. But I guess it's better than nothing. I guess you don't give a guy a max contract just based on better than nothing, right? But DeAndre Ayton picked up his player option. Who didn't know he was going to do that? He was totally unplayable in the playoffs last year. JJ Redick was choosing to go no center at all over playing DeAndre Ayton. I don't know what they're going to do about that. Maybe they can include him in the trade somehow. If the Lakers, I think it's a win. I do think it's a win because the Lakers don't have any center at all. And you get Jalen Duren at 22 years old and you hope that he gets in the gym, works on his game, and shows up in the playoffs. I think that's a move for the Lakers. Or who's the other dude? Who's a 7'3" white dude that they were looking at? Because they want all the white players. What the hell is his name? Utah Jazz. Put it in the chat. Somebody put it in the chat. I'm gonna think of it. Hold on. Kessler. That's who I'm thinking of. Walker Kessler. I couldn't think of his first name. Walker Kessler. Yeah, I think Jalen Duren to the Lakers is a good move for the Lakers. I think the Detroit Pistons are making a mistake with that, man. I think the Pistons are making a mistake with that. Kawhi Leonard back to Toronto. It's not set in stone, but it's getting close. Brandon Ingram will be included in the Raptors trade package for Kawhi Leonard as the headlining piece, per Windhorse ESPN. So, you know, there was the rumor that the Clippers wanted Colin Murray-Boyles. Obviously, the Toronto Raptors are not going to trade that dude. He was a rookie last year and sometimes looked like their best player on the floor in the playoffs. You can't trade him for anything. They were like, nah, listen, we got the leverage here. You're going to take Wiz Khalifa, and you're going to like it. And the Clippers, I guess, have no choice but to take back Brandon Ingram. And I'm going to talk about in a second why the Clippers, at least why it's reported the Clippers are doing this. Let's hear what Brian Windhorst had to say.
Why Leonard? Windy, what's the latest with the Clippers superstar?
Yeah, this is lining up. This trade could happen today.
I don't know about superstar anymore, but okay.
I think the Clippers and the Raptors have agreed on player compensation. I think it would be Brandon Ingram, based on what I'm told.
You'll take Wiz Khalifa and you'll like it.
It would head to Los Angeles. What they've been haggling over is the draft pick compensation. The Raptors have all of their forward first-round picks. They have up to 4 to trade. Naturally, the Clippers are going to want multiple of those.
I'm not trading. No, bro. You don't have the leverage here. I'm not trading multiple first-round picks. They're going to take Brandon Ingram and a first-round pick. That's what they're going to get.
Let's see if they can get this worked out. The key part of this is that the Raptors are willing to offer Leonard an extension, and Leonard is willing to sign in Toronto. Those are two big check marks that happen. What's interesting is that despite him coming off a brilliant season, the Clippers, I am told, are not willing to offer Kawhi Leonard an extension right now of any sort. There's not one.
Yeah, because he's 35. Well, it's always funny when one team is like, yeah, we don't want to extend this guy. We've seen enough. And another team is like, we'll extend him. He's 35 years old. Yes, he averaged 26 in the playoffs last year. That was good. But that healthy season is such an anomaly for Kawhi Leonard. It's not like he's magically immune to injury now. It's not like just because he finally had a healthy season that's going to now continue for 4 more years. You shouldn't give up more than 1 first-round draft pick. A recent one, by the way. Like, you should give up, 2027. But signing him to an extension sounds crazy to me. He's 35 years old. He's going to get hurt again. He's going to play 30 games and 40 games in 2 out of those 3 years if you give him a 3-year extension. I understand the Toronto Raptors want to take a chance. They feel like Scotty Barnes, Colin Murray-Boyles, and these players are on the come-up, are still very young. So you have the time. You have the time allotted to take a chance on Kawhi Leonard, right? 2 years, 3 years. If it doesn't work, you still have these players developed. And if you didn't give up many first-round draft picks, it's not that crazy, but I just do. Is Kawhi Leonard going to be healthy when he's 37? Really? The guy that's had chronic knee issues his whole career? Really? Anyway, my other question is, what the hell are the Lakers doing? I mean, what the hell are... my other question is, what the hell are the Clippers doing? So here's a rumor on why the Clippers are doing it. The LA Clippers could decide to trade Kawhi Leonard to the Toronto Raptors for Brandon Ingram and multiple first-round picks. I don't think it's going to be multiple. In order to clear $10 million in cap space to become real players in free agency. So let me get this straight. You traded SGA and 7 first-round picks for Paul George. You then realized that was a disaster. You trade another unprotected pick for James Harden way past his prime. Everybody knew that wasn't going to work, and it didn't. You trade away James Harden for Darius Garland. The Cleveland Cavaliers, who are also a terribly run franchise, basically traded him just to get off his contract. Now you don't want to give Kawhi Leonard an extension, so you're trying to trade Kawhi. So you did all of that, SGA 7 first-round draft picks, to end up tanking again. The one good thing Daryl Morey did was get the 76ers the Clippers' 2028 unprotected first-round pick and refused to trade it for anything because we all knew this was going to happen. Everybody knew the Kawhi Leonard-Paul George tandem wasn't going to work. Everybody knew the Kawhi Leonard-James Harden tandem wasn't going to work. Everybody knew all of this stuff was not going to work, and the Clippers were going to be terrible by 27 or 28, and here you go. But then they say, we're trading him to get cap space. Well, then why the hell did you trade for Darius Garland if you wanted cap space? Why didn't you just keep James Harden? Or buy him out. Waive him. Now you took on another terrible contract, and now you're deciding you want cap space. Makes absolutely no sense. But, again, much like the Portland Trailblazers, these are the reasons why some of these NBA franchises never do anything. And I know people will say, aren't you a 76ers fan? Yeah, same boat. Same boat. A franchise that just continues to do dumb shit after dumb shit after dumb shit and topping that off with more dumb shit and trying to fix that with more stupid shit. And they never win anything. Haven't been out of the second round in 25 years. Haven't won a championship since 83. Yes. The 76ers, the Kings, the Portland Trailblazers, the Clippers, the Chicago Bulls after Michael Jordan. Yes. The Memphis Grizzlies. Those are the 5 or 6 dumbest franchises in the NBA. The Washington Wizards. Utah Jazz haven't really ever done anything either. Anyway, there's my thoughts on the Kawhi Leonard stuff. What's up, man? Cyan, thank you for the super chat. Clippers are so bad at trading. Thunder, Presti completely fleeced the Clippers with the Paul George trade and are still reaping the benefits. Shea, Dub, Wallace, and now Mara. Yep. I feel like Mara was the 76ers pick, though, wasn't it? I don't remember. But thank you for the super chat. What else we got, man? What else we got? We got a little James Harden clip, and then we got to investigate Jimmy Butler. We got a little James Harden clip, and then we got to investigate Jimmy Butler, man. We got to investigate Jimmy Butler. First of all, this was a clip from a podcast with Robert Covington. And now look, I don't know anything about Robert Covington other than he was an undrafted player who was part of the 76ers process years. There was one year where I was in the lower level of a 76ers game and Robert Covington was 0 for 9 from 3 at halftime. And I yelled at him that his braids were too tight. And he glared at me directly. Every time I see Robert Covington, I just think of that. He turned into a good 3-and-D player once he left the 76ers, of course, because that's what happens. But he's going to comment on James Harden here with his time in Houston. And I want to say this, too. Robert Covington was in the Ben McLemore case. He was a major witness in the Ben McLemore case, and if you don't know about that, we're not going to talk about it on here. Just Google it and read about it. Here's what Robert Covington said about James Harden, man.
Man could sit up here and go out. Like, I've literally been, my rookie year, James would be out all night. 4, 5 in the morning, and that man up at 7 o'clock working out.
I ain't gonna lie. That might have been.
I've been saying this for years about James Harden.
I ain't gonna lie.
Over here going through it.
You just brought back so many memories because I had just graduated college.
This is not funny, by the way. This is not a compliment. This is not an achievement.
Our Houston days. So I graduate. I moved to Winston for like 3 months. Stay with my aunt. Chris calls me and say, "Hey, come work for me." Chris gets traded to Houston.
Mm-hmm.
When I tell you, I have never in my life see somebody party and then can go and drop 60 on somebody.
This man's impressive.
I was like,
That's impressive. Well, imagine how good he would have been if he went to sleep at night.
Impressive.
I was like, I'm still hungover at the games.
So was he.
So
Listen.
the fact that he's able to go do what he just did.
And I'm talking about drinking heavy.
James, you need a PR team to put a cap on these dudes, bro. You don't want these dudes out here saying this.
Heavy. I'm like,
We
yo,
ain't talking about like, you know how we sipping right now.
that is like
We ain't, no,
special.
no. 10, 12, 13, 15 shots.
Oh my God, bro. I nailed this. I nailed this a couple years ago. I was so on the fucking money and you guys called me a hater. I nailed it so hard. I was so on the money and you called me a hater and I nailed it.
Bottles.
Great time.
Straight
Great,
to it.
great time.
Respect.
Great time.
Respect.
And he gonna go home. He gonna get that little power nap. And he in that gym.
Yeah, see, here's the thing. It's not funny. It's not something to celebrate. It's not something to honor. It's not respect. It's not like, oh, wow, he could go party until 5 in the morning and wake up at 7 and go to practice and be ready for a game. Yeah, look, I nailed this so accurately when he was in Philly. James Harden we're talking about if people are just joining. When he was in Philly, I would see clearly when he was well rested versus when he was hungover. It was so unbelievably obvious. And look, you can hide that when you're 25. You can't hide that when you're 33. When you're 33, sleep starts to really matter. And drinking really starts to affect you. And you can't bounce back like you did when you were 23. And the hangovers get really bad. And I could see clearly when James Harden was in Philly, games where he was well rested and games where he was obviously hungover. And he would drop 45, and then he would go celebrate until 5 in the morning, and then he would come back the next game hungover, and he would score 9 points in 40 minutes. Bro, he would go from looking like a superstar to a 58-year-old rec league player in the span of 48 hours. And I said it live on Run It Back Philly. I know what's happening here. James Harden is an alcoholic. Most people that partied like that in their 20s grew out of it because they have to go. They got a real job. They're not making $300 million. They got to go to work. They got to take care of their kids. They got to be there for their family. They got to get it together. James Harden never grew out of it. He's now a damn near 40-year-old man-child, and he still does the same thing. He just did it again in Cleveland, and they're about to extend him. He keeps swindling teams to give him more millions of dollars so he can fly back to Houston and continue to party. It's absolutely unbelievable. It's unbelievable. I nailed it. So on the money, dude. So on the money. I'm so glad. Look, I can't believe Cleveland's going to extend him. I'm just glad he's not in Philly anymore. I know that. And James Harden stands are as sick in the head as Ben Simmons stands are. Yo, 500 people in here. Thank you for being here. Thank you for tuning in. Chancellor, best thing that LeBron left the Lakers after Bronny's contract became guaranteed. McCain trade. Oh, the OKC picks. Let's see. The last thing here is there is a new conspiracy that is brewing. And it is Jimmy Butler being tied to all the Malik Beasley gambling stuff. Here's number one. Posted by Heat Nation. So Jimmy's friend Ernie was named in the Malik Beasley gambling case. Now look, Jimmy Butler's name isn't in here. I'm not saying that. But they are good friends. This is the guy right here. This Timu DJ Khaled right here. This is the guy that was setting up these bets and getting NBA players to agree to throw games or throw their under or get a certain amount of rebounds which, by the way, Malik Beasley betting on himself to get a certain amount of rebounds instead of betting on the under is just stupid. This is the guy that was setting all that up. Really good friends with Jimmy Butler. The defendant, Ernesto Plancesia, also known as Ernie, maintained a friendship with, among others, the defendant, Edward Davis, as well as multiple other former current NBA players during the relevant period. After Beasley did not perform as agreed in the March 21 game against the Nets, Placencia demanded that Davis either compensate the conspirators for their losses or get Beasley to manipulate his performance in future games. Wow. Beasley really did get himself caught up, bro. Oh my God. He got caught up with some big-time gambling rings and owed people a lot of money and started doing what he was doing. But anyway, that's the first way that Jimmy Butler is, and I'm not calling out Jimmy Butler particularly, but it's starting to make people think, and it's starting to make me think, right? What are the chances Malik Beasley was the only one doing this? Do you understand what I'm saying? Like when Tim Donahue, the NBA official, got caught. What are the chances he was the only one doing it? You know, if there's a crooked cop in a police force, there's probably 10 of them, right? It's not just that one guy. So then you start to think about when a player is an all-star level player and randomly shoots the ball 4 times in 48 minutes. And it starts to feel like, you know, I thought that was kind of crazy. And I was reacting like, how is this possible? And then you start to realize that the guy setting up all these betting things with Malik Beasley was tied to a lot of NBA players. It starts to make more sense that a lot of these dudes were point shaving and stat shaving and throwing games. So here's the top 5 people that need to be investigated by the NBA. Number 1, De'Aaron Fox. Number 2, Mitch Johnson. De'Aaron Fox, former All-Star, played like Darren Fox. He played like a random dude at the park. He played like the San Antonio Spurs, whoever won the halftime competition, they just put him in the game. That's what De'Aaron Fox played like in the NBA Finals. Mitch Johnson refused to bench him, refused to play Dylan Harper, who was clearly better, who was looking like the best player on the whole Spurs team at times. Mitch Johnson just kept going out there and letting De'Aaron Fox obviously throw games. Number 1, De'Aaron Fox. Number 2, Mitch Johnson. Investigate them now. Number 3, James Harden. Even though I don't think he's gambling, I think he's just an alcoholic. Number 4, Chet Holmgren. Investigate him now. Number 5, Joel Embiid. Number 6, Paul George. Investigate all of them. Investigate all of them. Anyway, here's a tweet by whoever this dude is. After seeing Jimmy Butler's best friend get arrested last night, I have questions about Jimmy last year with the Heat. I bet on him on Prize Picks to score 18 points. He took 4 shots. All those times he just stood there in the corner shooting one-legged threes with no care got me wondering, man. I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you, man. This dude, Jimmy Butler's friend. And look, you guys want to act like they're not friends? Look, this is a clip of this dude that we're talking about on Jimmy Butler's Instagram story. And they're even talking about betting. POV, you bet Ernie the man he can't inchworm out of the restaurant. These dudes hung out all the time. And they bet with each other all the time. So how are you going to sit here and tell me that Malik Beasley was the only one betting on NBA games and point shaving and throwing games? I'm sorry, man. There's a lot of them. There's a lot of them. I think Jimmy Butler is one of them. And I think there's a lot of them in the NBA right now. And I think Adam Silver better get on the investigation before the FBI gets a hold of it. Hey, guys, I just figured something out. This is how we finally get rid of Adam Silver. This is it. This is how we finally get rid of Adam Silver. The FBI continues to investigate this stuff. They find out that players have been point shaving and betting on themselves, and Adam Silver knew it and has been brushing it under the rug because he keeps getting kickbacks from gambling companies. And Adam Silver's extraterrestrial-looking ass goes to federal prison, and we get the game that we love back. That's how it's going to happen. That's how it's going to happen, man. That's how it's going to happen. Careful, Eastwood. What? What do I got to be careful about? Is Ernie the snake going to come and get me in my attic? Hershey, Pennsylvania? That's all I got, man. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Thank you for tuning in. Another episode of Run It Back NBA. Subscribe, like, become a member, all that stuff. I'll see you on the next one.